and this whole writing process, and I'm really grateful to have been a part of it and watched his art come to life. And yeah, he inspires me every day. But so the dad I've known since I was little has always kind of been an artist in one way or another. Whether he was singing creative lullabies or telling the most invigorating bedtime stories that only made me want to stay up longer, his love for the arts has always been a really big part of my life. And even as I grew older and I started to think I was too cool for lullabies and bedtime stories, my dad's way with words carried into motivational speeches and the long lectures, heartfelt advice he would give me about friendship, school, boys, all my classic 9-year-old worries. So yeah, now as I stand here today at the launch of his book, The Fires We Become, I couldn't be prouder to be his daughter and have watched him and his art evolve over the years. So holding this book in my hand definitely feels a little surreal. You know, there was a first one, but this is my first book launch of his that I'm attending. But I saw firsthand the work that he poured into it, maybe, you know, watching from the sidelines, getting to read it even, you know, before it was finished, helping him pick the cover and everything. But I'm really grateful to have been a part of his process. And every day and every night he sort of spent hunched over his computer with headphones on, coffee in hand. You know, it's been a true labor of love, and I'm really kind of happy to be holding it in my hand. Proud of him for getting it published, all of it. I know it wasn't easy, you know, and it is truly a testament to his passion, or I guess his fire for writing. It's also because being an excellent author, in my opinion, isn't the only job he holds, along with holding a demanding corporate job that I couldn't name if I tried. He also wears many hats at home. So to me, he's a chef, a chauffeur, and above all, my best friend. Really my person, my inspiration. And you know, to many of you here, he's a loving brother, an amazing friend, and a trusted confidant, and really so much more. And I think all of us who are lucky enough to have him in our lives can agree that to know you is to love you, Papa, and the person you are, the life you've lived, the passion you carry are so clearly reflected in your work. Trying to go against the dreaded mafia because they had tortured his friend. Who was I to stop that verve? Who was I to question the ferocity of an unlikely yet determined force?
Hi, my name is Khurrana, as you know, and you can, like, I'm the better daughter.
Let's get that out of the way, right?
Yeah. So today I'll be also I'll also be reading something from his book, from the new book, and I'm so excited to be seeing my dad launch his new book with all of his hard work and dedication that he's put in this over the past years. He's always, as Myra said, at that computer typing words or figuring out a way to make it better, which I don't think it can be. But yeah, so I was gonna be reading a page from the 14th chapter called Lion's Walter. Feeble sprinkles of daylight filtered through thousands of clay idols, lined up one after another. Shamshu and I had entered a potter's workshop in a colony located along the northern bank of the Hooghly in Kolkata. Dark as a coal mine, the workshop was a cavern of shadows. A high tarpaulin ceiling, wired together with bamboo loomed above, and ash-colored mud walls absorbed that little light dared to enter. The earthen sculptures of Durga stood unfinished. The potters had a little over a month to complete them for the festival season. The place smelled like a farmhouse, a faint stench of cow dung and fertilizers floating atop a strong current.
Herself, a filmmaker herself, and to create anything of art, you know, we've got two fantastic, world-leading musicians. To create any art or anything which does not exist, the first challenge is to convince yourself that you're good enough. The sense of imposter syndrome is so strong. And for me, as a writer who's not really intended to make a career out of it, or spend 5 years understanding the art, it was something that I loved doing, and the passion kept me going and kept me getting hopefully better at it, right? But the biggest challenge was, Neeti, I think your own self. You had to convince yourself, feel that you're wearing the right clothes or the right attire or the right cloak when you're wearing that cloak of the writer, saying this belongs to me, this is me, right? And what I'm doing is good enough for me. You are not playing for an audience. You have to first play for yourself. You have to be true to yourself. You've got to be real, and then honestly it becomes. So the challenge was to keep that demon's voice away and make sure I'm giving it my 100%. I think that the rewarding part is this. I mean, to have so much love, time, affection, smiles, laughter coming from each and every one of you, I can't ask for more. I mean, it's such a humbling and grounding experience. I don't deserve it, and I still get it, so I will take it with arms wide open. Thank you. I think edge of the seat, if I can call it one word, I would say that is one. I would say it's real. There is, if I can, sort of exhaust whatever little modesty I have left in me, I would say it's a real story about real people. I have tried to keep it as raw and real as one can be. And the third would probably be suspense, because there are elements that keep you sort of, hopefully, with that book, there is a lot of suspense, thriller, mystery. So yeah.
Right from school days, I've been the editor of magazines and wrote on social media, and I think it's an art that I've been, I loved, and I've developed it over the years. And when I felt that I had a story in me to share with the world, that's when I wrote my first book called The Unprodigal. That was a long time back, 6 years back. So and then as you write more, as you love your art more, I think you spend more time being a student of that art, right? You understand how can you be a better writer, the science behind storytelling. And I think the second book, which I wrote in 2020, and I finished it in probably 4 or 5 months, and it was just lying there because I could not really get it to editing, and life took over or whatever. The journey has been that of a student. I think the more you are humble and the more you know that you will always be a student, that teaches you the art. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
When did you wrote this second book, and tell us about where it is available right now? Is it really available online?
Yeah, so it was recently launched on Amazon for pre-orders, and it's now officially available on Amazon. It's available in bookstores. Rupa Publications has published it, and I'm sure, being the strong publication house that they are, they will be distributing the books and having them placed in different bookstores. But it's also available online, like I said. It's available on Amazon. What was the other question?
What is book all about? Tell us about that.
See, the basic theme of the book, like I mentioned earlier, is about how your struggles and challenges shape you. The choices when you're faced against a hard battle in front of you, how do you how do you decide what to do? What are your decisions? What are your choices? Does that struggle, or fires as I call them, does that those fires, does that create you or break you? Does that mold you stronger, or does that melt you? And based on that, can you make those challenges your own and become that and be stronger than that, right? So the theme of the book is, and you'll see all the characters in the book are about making right choices and wrong choices. We are human beings. We'll never make all choices which are the right ones. We will make wrong choices, but how do you overcome that? How do you overcome the fires that you burn in? And how do you become that fire by staying true to yourself? Each character in the book is like that and goes through that fire to evolve, to transform, to become something bigger and stronger and larger.
Lastly, your daughters were 18. How was that moment as a father?
It's unreal. It's surreal, if I can call it that, because I never thought, 20 years back, that two of my kids sitting right in front of me would be talking the way that they talked about the story, about the book. I mean, I had tears in my eyes, and likely, any father would. It is one of the most beautiful memories of my life, which I'll take to my grave.